Hello trophy travelers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Tony. I'm doing this review of my recent trip in the business class on ANA, all Nippon Airlines, from Hong Kong to Tokyo. Really excited about this because I heard a lot of great things about ANA, particularly their food service. So the plane they use here is the 787-8 or 788. Their seat, they have, I think, a couple of rows of business class, not a lot, but it's a cradle seat, so it doesn't really, it kind of, they say it reclines to support you like in the cradle-like position. It's not a full recline, but actually it's about a 4 or 5 hour flight. It's not long, and I was eating most of the time, so it really didn't bother me. So it's a nice seat, although I was surprised that some of the places didn't, they look kind of grimy. It looked like it wasn't cleaned totally or wasn't upkept totally, so I was kind of surprised about that. A couple of short videos about the actual plane, and this is my seat. I think it was 3A, and then this is the side panel with the lie flat and also with the covers. So this is also on the remote control, which is underneath the kind of the armrest between you and the other passenger. And again, it's a little grimy, but there's a little bit of space there for you to put something, but it looked kind of dirty, so I didn't really put anything in there. This photo is to show you the leg room. It's a lot of leg room, obviously, but kind of what's not good about it is underneath there's not enough space to really store even a laptop bag, so anything that you have has to go in the overhead bin. So you know how normally with spaces you have a kind of a hole so you can actually stick it in. Well, this is not really a hole, it's kind of like a slanted base, and so it's not sufficient enough that you can actually slide a laptop bag there. ANA has a number of unique drinks, but I didn't get to all of them, partly because of service standards. But they have this original drink, which is their citrus drink. They have green tea. They have a coffee, which I actually had in their lounge. And then they have sake. So they have two types of sake. They have the Ken Konichi Junmai, and then which is the one on the right-hand side, the white label, and then the Junmai Daijingo Naraman, which is the yellow label. So they both have Junmai Daiginjo and just Junmai. And if you want to learn more about the difference, I'll refer you to my video on sake at the end of this video. And so it's just neat. I am a wine lover, but you know, you just don't get a chance to see a lot of sake on other flights, so I took the advantage. They're not really expensive sakes. One is like the Ken Konichi Genmai is about $20 US, and the Naraman is about $50 US. But you know, it's kind of nice to have that opportunity to go to try these. This is the example of the glassware they use to serve the wine, which is just the same as the water. I guess no one ever now uses the real wine glasses anymore, so they use these kind of goblet style, which is fine. It's actually still nice, but again, if you're flying Japan Airlines or ANA, you should take advantage of their Japanese you know, beers or spirits or sake, because you don't obviously find that on other airlines. This is their lunch, and so I chose their Japanese. They also have a Western or international one. But again, if you're flying ANA or JL, why not take advantage of the Japanese cuisine? It's just presented beautifully. One thing I will mention about service, and I'll go through each of these things in detail in later pictures, but one thing I should mention about service, they do tend to spend a little bit more time with the Japanese customers. I think it's just because a lot of the stewardesses are much more comfortable in Japanese. I found their English difficult to understand, just because they're so soft. Their voices are so soft, and also everyone has masks on, and I don't think they feel comfortableness with English. So they were very brief with me. But the head purser, and I think she was the head purser, I didn't catch her name, but she had a different color uniform on. I think she had a blue uniform instead of a blue top instead of a pink top. But she saved the day. Her English was perfect, and she had a great service standard. I wanted to try and get look at her name tag, but it's kind of awkward sometimes looking at someone's name tag, staring at a name tag, and they might be thinking you're staring at something else. So I kind of just left it. But anyways, that person was really good and saved the day. When she served the meal, she was very good about explaining the meal. Her English was proficient, and maybe that's why she's the chief purser. The other people were lovely, but so their voices are so discreet and that I couldn't hear them, quite frankly, and their English, their accent was quite hard to understand, quite frankly, and their voice was soft, so it was difficult. I had such enjoyment of the meal, and you don't get this in many airlines. So I really enjoyed the whole process. So this is the first kind of part of this. This is a section of morsels, which includes a Japanese omelet, salt grilled salmon, marinated Mizuna green and crab meat in soy-based sauce, and then a grilled chicken pate. So really nice. I liked it quite a bit. It was really neat. So I thoroughly enjoyed this, and this is just the first kind of part of the meal. This is their tasty tidbit, which is tuna with mustard vinegar miso. Again, this would not look any different than what you would see in a lot of really high-end Japanese restaurants on land. So it's a real pleasure to have this meal on Anna. Classic miso soup, so that's a nice touch, and just the whole design was so nice. This is their main course for the lunch, which is a poached pork with gratin, daikon radish, and Japanese shiso herb sauce. And the steamed rice is actually wrapped in some paper, I guess, to make sure that it doesn't get too soggy. Really tremendous meal with the sake. I was enjoying it so much, and so I was really very happy with it. Finished off with Haagen-Dazs vanilla ice cream. I did ask for a coffee, but again, I'm not sure if she just didn't understand me or what happened. But again, the chief purser saved the day. If not, I would say the service was not that great because they just seemed so uncomfortable with the English language. And they spent much more time with the Japanese passengers. Felt much more comfortable. So luckily that purser just saved the day. She was exceptional. So that changed my whole experience, and I was really had a fine meal. I wanted to take a picture. One design which I really liked on this plane is that you can actually turn your, it locks into place, your table tray locks into place in the vertical, so that you can actually scoot out to the bathroom, and just to go off to the side here and just scoot out to the bathroom, and then it doesn't distract you, because sometimes what happens if we have a meal service and you've got your kind of plate in place, you're kind of blocked, you can't really get out of your seat. So I like this design. And here's a beautiful view of coming into Tokyo, Narita. All in all, excellent flight. They're very polite. I thought that it was not as clean as I'd expect, the aircraft. The food service was excellent in terms of the actual quality of the lunch, and I can't imagine what dinner would be like. It'd be even better. I did find the English language does difficult for some of the stewardesses, but again, the chief purser was really great and seemed much more experienced. The other ladies were very nice, but seemed less comfortable dealing with non-Japanese passengers. That's kind of my experience. But really, I would fly again for sure, if not for anything, but just for the food. It was just exceptional. Until next time, happy travels.